My fascination with the dark, the grotesque, and the unsettling mysteries of horror is not unique to me. It's a curiosity shared by many. This shared intrigue pulls us into an exploration of why humans are drawn to horror and what it reveals about our psyche. Our journey through the philosophy of horror is not merely academic. It's deeply personal and reflective of our innermost fears and desires. At the heart of our attraction to horror lies the fundamental human condition of knowing we are alive and, paradoxically, that we are destined to die. This awareness creates a tension, a curiosity about the unknown that horror artfully exploits. The macabre, the monstrous, and the terrifying become mirrors reflecting our existential anxieties. Through horror, we confront our mortality, our vulnerability, and the fragility of our existence in a world that is often incomprehensible and hostile. The aesthetic dimension of horror is complex and multifaceted. It's not merely about the shock and gore, which are often the most visible elements, but about the creation of an atmosphere that evokes a deep sense of dread and foreboding. This atmosphere is carefully crafted through visuals, sounds, and narrative techniques that tap into our primal fears. The shadows lurking in the corner of our room, the strange noises in the dead of night, and the sense of being watched are all tropes that play on our instinctual fears of the unknown and the unseen predator. These elements, when artfully combined, create a space where our everyday reality is suspended, and we are transported into a realm where our deepest fears are brought to life. The emotional dimension of horror is equally complex. At first glance, it may seem paradoxical that we seek out experiences that evoke fear, a fundamentally unpleasant emotion. Yet, it is precisely this ability to feel fear so intensely, from the safety of our living rooms or cinema seats, that draws us to horror. This controlled environment provides a space for us to explore our fears in a manner that is both safe and socially acceptable. The adrenaline rush, the heightened senses, and the eventual relief when the horror concludes serve as a catharsis, allowing us to confront our fears and emerge feeling exhilarated and paradoxically alive. On a deeper level, horror serves as a mirror reflecting societal fears and anxieties. The monsters of our stories, whether they be vampires, zombies, or otherworldly entities, often embody cultural, social, and political anxieties of their time. The zombie apocalypse can be read as a metaphor for societal collapse, pandemics, or the dehumanizing effects of consumerism. Vampires have been interpreted as symbols of predatory capitalism, sexual taboos, or the fear of the other. Through these monsters, horror articulates and explores the underlying anxieties of society, providing a space for reflection and discussion. Horror also confronts us with the monstrous within. It forces us to acknowledge that the capacity for horror is not just out there, in the monsters and the dark, but also within us. The fascination with serial killers, the psychological thriller genre, and the exploration of human evil in horror fiction reveal a disturbing truth. The monster can be human, and that monster can be us. This realization forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the nature of evil, morality, and the potential for darkness within each of us. Moreover, horror serves as a rite of passage for many. The challenge of facing one's fears, whether as a child watching a horror movie through the gaps between one's fingers, or as an adult, delving into the psychological horror of existential dread, serves as a test of courage. It is a way to prove to ourselves that we can face the unknown, the terrifying, and emerge unscathed. This confrontation with fear, and the mastery over it, is a fundamental part of growing up and a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. In our journey through the world of horror, we discover that our fascination with the macabre and monstrous is deeply intertwined with our quest for understanding ourselves and the world around us. Horror, in its myriad forms, from the Gothic to the contemporary, from folklore to cinema, offers a rich tapestry through which we can explore the human condition. It confronts us with our fears, challenges us to face the unknown, and ultimately reveals to us the depths of our own psyche. This exploration into the philosophy of horror is not just an academic exercise. It's a journey into the heart of what it means to be human. It reveals that our attraction to horror is a reflection of our desire to confront the unknown, to understand the darkness within and without, and to find meaning in the face of our own mortality. The monsters we create and confront in horror stories are not just figments of our imagination. They are manifestations of our deepest fears, desires, and questions about life, death, and what lies beyond. As we peel back the layers of horror, we find at its core a profound truth about the human experience. That in the face of the incomprehensible and the monstrous, we seek not just to survive, but to understand. In this way, horror becomes a lens through which we can examine the darkest corners of our existence and perhaps come to terms with them. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a celebration of our ability to face the abyss and find within it a source of fascination, terror, and ultimately, a deeper understanding of ourselves. Continuing my exploration into the philosophy of horror, I delve deeper into the layers of meaning that this genre offers. The allure of horror extends beyond the initial thrill or scare. It's a journey into the unknown parts of our world and ourselves. The more I immerse myself in the study and experience of horror, the more I realize that it serves as a form of confrontation and reconciliation with the aspects of reality we often wish to ignore or deny. This ongoing journey is not static. It evolves as I evolve, reflecting the changing nature of my own fears and curiosities. Horror, in its essence, is deeply personal yet universally resonant. It taps into the collective unconscious, drawing on archetypal fears and narratives that span cultures and epochs. These archetypes, the shadow, the monster, the dark mother, the trickster, resonate because they are embedded in the human psyche, representing the different aspects of our nature and existence that we struggle to reconcile with. My engagement with horror is not merely passive. It is an active process of meaning-making. Each horror story, film, or artwork I encounter is a piece of a larger puzzle that I am trying to assemble. This puzzle is not just about understanding horror as a genre, but understanding what it reveals about the human condition. Horror challenges me to question the boundaries of normalcy, morality, and reality itself. It pushes me to consider the possibility of other worlds, other forms of existence, and other states of consciousness that transcend our everyday experience. As I continue on this path, I find that horror offers a unique space for existential reflection. The themes of isolation, alienation, and existential dread that pervade many horror narratives mirror my own moments of questioning and searching for meaning in an often indifferent universe. Horror confronts me with the absurdity of existence, the possibility of cosmic horror, and the realization that the universe may not be ordered or benign. Yet, within this confrontation, there is a strange comfort. Horror provides a narrative framework to grapple with these existential fears, allowing me to explore them in a context that is both imaginative and controlled. My fascination with horror also leads me to consider the role of the taboo in shaping human culture and consciousness. Horror often transgresses societal norms and taboos, delving into subjects that are forbidden or repressed. This transgression is not merely for shock value. It serves a deeper psychological and cultural function. By confronting the taboo, horror challenges us to examine why certain things are forbidden and to confront the arbitrary nature of many of these prohibitions. It forces us to confront our own shadows, the parts of ourselves that society teaches us to suppress or deny. This exploration is not without its dangers. The very act of confronting horror, of looking into the abyss, risks the abyss gazing back into me. There is a fine line between exploring darkness and being consumed by it. Yet, it is a risk that I find necessary and in some ways invigorating. The danger lies not in the exploration of horror itself, but in refusing to acknowledge the darkness that exists within and around us. Denial gives the darkness power. Confrontation and understanding strip it of its mystery, and therefore its power over us. My journey through the philosophy of horror, I am acutely aware that there is no final destination. The exploration of horror is an exploration of the infinite variations of human fear, desire, and imagination. It is a journey that challenges me to keep questioning, to keep exploring the shadows, not just in the world around me, but within myself. The path is winding, often looping back on itself, revealing new insights and questions with each step. In this way, The philosophy of horror becomes a lifelong journey, a continual process of discovery and understanding that enriches my experience of the world and deepens my understanding of the human condition. This exploration into the depths of horror and what it reveals about the human psyche continues to unfold, revealing layers of complexity and insight into our very nature. My journey is not merely academic. It is a deeply personal odyssey that intersects with the darkest corners of human experience and imagination. The further I venture into this terrain, the more I realize that horror is not just a genre to be consumed and analyzed. It is a lens through which we can view the entire spectrum of human emotions and existential dilemmas. In my continued quest, I find that horror serves as a critical tool for social commentary. The genre often holds up a distorted mirror to society, reflecting our collective anxieties, prejudices, and hidden desires. Through its narratives, horror confronts us with the consequences of societal issues such as oppression, inequality, and environmental degradation. These stories force us to confront the monsters we have created, both literally and metaphorically. In doing so, horror does not merely scare us. It challenges us to reflect on our actions and their impacts on the world around us. The process of engaging with horror is, in many ways, a dialogue between the self and the other. Horror challenges the boundaries between the known and the unknown, the self and the other, the natural and the supernatural. This dialogue often leads to a profound sense of empathy and understanding. By encountering the monstrous other, whether it be in the form of a vampire, a ghost, or an alien, we are forced to confront our own prejudices and fears. Through these encounters, horror has the power to break down barriers, revealing the humanity within the monster and the monstrous within humanity. This realization is unsettling yet enlightening, pushing me to reconsider my own views of others and the world. Moreover, my exploration reveals the therapeutic potential of horror. For many, engaging with horror is a way to process trauma and fear in a controlled and safe environment. The narratives provide a space for individuals to confront their fears, to play out their anxieties, and to experience a sense of mastery over what terrifies them. This cathartic effect is a testament to the power of storytelling and imagination to heal and transform. It underscores the importance of horror as a space for psychological exploration and emotional release. As I delve deeper, I also grapple with the paradoxes at the heart of horror. Horror both repels and attracts, evoking a complex mix of emotions that cannot be easily categorized or understood. This ambivalence is central to the genre's appeal. It captures the complexity of the human condition, reflecting our fascination with the unknown and our desire to confront and understand it. The horror genre, with its myriad forms and expressions, serves as a playground for the imagination, a space where the impossible becomes possible and the darkest fears can be faced and overcome. My journey through the philosophy of horror is far from complete. Each story, film, or piece of art offers new insights and questions, contributing to an ever-expanding understanding of why we are drawn to the macabre and what it reveals about us. This exploration is not linear. It is a spiral, circling back on itself, deepening and expanding with each pass. Horror, in all its forms, continues to challenge, terrify, and fascinate me, pushing me to explore the limits of my understanding and to embrace the complexity of the human psyche. In this unending journey, horror has become more than a subject of study. It has become a companion in my quest to understand the depths of human fear, desire, and imagination. It serves as a constant reminder of the power of the unknown to both terrify and inspire, to challenge and enlighten. As I continue on this path, I remain open to the lessons horror has to teach, ready to face the darkness with curiosity and courage, and eager to discover what lies beyond the veil of fear. In this ongoing exploration into the philosophy of horror, literature emerges as a rich tapestry woven with the threads of fear, fascination, and existential inquiry. From the Gothic classics of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Bram Stoker's Dracula to the modern masterpieces of Stephen King and H.P. Lovecraft, literature has served as a crucible for the exploration of the darkest recesses of the human psyche. In Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, for instance, The horror emerges not just from the monstrous creation of Victor Frankenstein, but from the existential questions raised by his hubristic pursuit of knowledge and power. The creature, rejected by society and driven to vengeance by its creator's abandonment, becomes a mirror reflecting humanity's capacity for cruelty and indifference. Through the narrative, Shelley grapples with themes of identity, responsibility, and the consequences of unchecked ambition, laying bare the moral complexities at the heart of the human condition. Similarly, Bram Stoker's Dracula delves into the fears and anxieties of Victorian society, exploring themes of sexuality, xenophobia, and the erosion of traditional values. The vampire, a seductive and predatory figure, serves as a metaphor for the dangers lurking in the shadows, both within and outside of society. Stoker's novel not only taps into the cultural anxieties of its time, but also transcends them, offering a timeless exploration of the eternal struggle between good and evil. In more contemporary literature, authors like Stephen King have redefined the boundaries of horror, blending elements of the supernatural with psychological realism to create deeply unsettling and thought-provoking narratives. King's works, such as The Shining, It, and Misery, delve into the darkest corners of human nature, exploring themes of trauma, addiction, and the loss of innocence. Through his vivid characters and chilling scenarios, King forces readers to confront their deepest fears and vulnerabilities, challenging them to navigate the thin line between reality and nightmare. H.P. Lovecraft, often regarded as the master of cosmic horror, explores the insignificance of humanity in the face of vast and incomprehensible cosmic forces. His stories, such as The Call of Cthulhu and At the Mountains of Madness, evoke a sense of existential dread and awe at the unfathomable mysteries of the universe. Lovecraft's mythos, populated by ancient gods and eldritch horrors, serves as a reminder of the fragility of human existence and the limits of human knowledge. Literature, with its ability to evoke atmosphere, convey complex emotions, and provoke introspection, offers a unique lens through which to explore the philosophy of horror. From the eerie landscapes of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories to the psychological depths of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, literature captures the full spectrum of human fears and desires, inviting readers to confront their own shadows and embrace the unknown. The journey through the philosophy of horror, literature remains a guiding light, illuminating the darkest corners of the human psyche and offering insights into the mysteries of existence. Each story, each author, adds another layer to my understanding, enriching my exploration and deepening my appreciation for the enduring power of horror literature. In the pages of these timeless works, I find solace, inspiration, and a profound sense of connection to the shared fears and dreams of humanity. The philosophy of horror serves as a gateway into the deepest recesses of the human psyche, offering a lens through which to explore our most primal fears, desires, and existential dilemmas. From the Gothic classics to modern masterpieces, literature has played a central role in shaping our understanding of horror and its implications for the human condition. Through the exploration of horror, we confront the unknown, the monstrous, and the macabre, and in doing so, we confront ourselves. We grapple with questions of identity, morality, and mortality, and we come face to face with the darkness that resides within each of us. Yet, in this confrontation, there is also the possibility of transcendence, of finding meaning and purpose during chaos and uncertainty. Horror, in all its forms, challenges us to embrace the complexity of the human experience, to acknowledge the shadows that lurk within and around us, and to find courage in the face of the unknown. It is a genre that transcends mere entertainment, offering profound insights into the human condition and the mysteries of existence. My journey through the philosophy of horror, I am reminded of its enduring power to provoke, to unsettle, and to inspire. It is a journey without end, a labyrinth of fear and fascination that beckons me ever deeper into its dark embrace. And though the path may be treacherous and the monsters may be many, I walk forward with curiosity and courage, eager to uncover the truths that lie hidden in the shadows.